Hello everyone and welcome back to another movie review by Ian Talk. I'm your host Ian, and today's video movie review will be on the new melodrama out of Korean cinema, Jose. Jose was directed by Kim Jong-kwan, whose other works includes a short that was a part of Persona on Netflix. The film was a remake of the Japanese original titled Jose, the Tiger and the Fish. I saw the Japanese version right after watching the Korean version as it was available on the Korean Netflix, and the two were almost two different films with very different tones. I'll get into this more later. Jose starred the leads Han Ji-min and Nam Joo-hyuk, and as mentioned, is a romance melodrama that revolves around a young male who meets a disabled woman and the process of the two falling for each other. Before getting into the review, let's go over the detailed synopsis of the movie. Jose, a disabled lady in a wheelchair, lives in a countryside home with her grandmother, spending her days reading and imagining herself in the shoes of the characters. One day, she and Young-suk meet by chance, and Young-suk starts to have feelings for Jose. Slowly but surely, he begins to approach Jose. However, for Jose, who hasn't ever been in love, her heart is too naive, and so she pushes Young-suk away the more he gets closer. As the boy takes one step closer to the girl takes two steps back. Will the two be able to blossom their relationship into something special? Before diving deeper into the review, I'd just like to say that I'll be giving my thoughts and opinions of the movie from here on out. Therefore, there may be minor spoilers or parts about the movie that you may not want to hear before watching yourself. I'm going to keep spoilers to a minimum, if any, but please be aware of this. Okay then, now that we got that out of the way, let's get right into the good parts about Jose. Right off the bat, I must mention the cinematography of the film. Jose was beautifully shot and the photography was amazing. It was as if I was watching an artwork, and it literally is a work of art. You can tell each shot was taken into consideration as the camera angles and the movements were amazing. Also, this can go both ways in terms of being good and bad, but the movie was a very quote-unquote real film. To lay out the good things about it being real, it depicted everyday things in a very special way. This goes hand in hand with it being beautifully shot, as it portrays everyday items in a very meaningful way. Furthermore, I enjoyed that there were a few mysterious elements of the film. For example, the character of Nam Joo-hyuk, Young-suk. Who exactly is he? Is he a playboy that sleeps around with girls? What's his relationship with the professor exactly? Does he not have a home? Or if he does, why was it never shown? There were a lot of questionable things about him that went unanswered, which gave a very mysteriousness element to the character. Also, Jose is a scary person if you really think about it. This is a spoiler, so skip ahead a little if you don't want to hear, but she tells Young-suk to leave and never come back, but then again changes her mind and tells him to never leave all of a sudden. Okay, let's say this can make sense, but what's scary is what comes next. She tells him if he ever leaves, she'll spread rumors that Young-suk forced himself on her without her consent. This is really scary even if it was meant as a joke, as the atmosphere of that moment wasn't a joke-telling environment. And the things she says before also makes matters worse and makes you wonder if she isn't all there in the head. However, I must say the acting by the two main leads was great. It's no wonder Han Ji-min is a veteran actress and she portrayed the quiet, introverted Jose very well. Nam Joo-hyuk is more well known in the K-drama realm, but he pulled off the Young-suk role very well. His performance in the recent K-drama, Startup, was good, and his performance in this was equally good as well. The last good thing I want to mention about Jose was the ending. There is a turn of events in the ending, and I did not expect that twist. It really caught me off guard, and I was really surprised. I wanted and hoped for something more throughout the movie, as I felt it was missing something, but basically lost hope for it as it didn't seem like it'd have a twist or anything more than just being a slow burner. However, there was a real good surprise. Okay, now that we took a look at the good parts about Jose, let's take a look at what I found to be the negatives. Continuing off the movie being a very real one, the bad parts about it being a very quote-unquote real movie was that it was a very slow and mellow movie with not much action. It felt like an indie film starring two A-listers. I'm not a fan of slow burners, so this wasn't really down my lane, but I also think that this may have been partially unintentional. I couldn't help but feel as if the movie was incomplete, and I think this may actually be the case. The film's distribution company, Warner Bros. Korea, is closing its business in Korea, and so they're releasing the movies they have in their library before closing. Maybe because of this, but I felt as if the movie didn't get the true justice it deserved, as if it was unfinished in production. If it was intentional and was released after full completion, then I must express my disappointment. As mentioned, I watched the Japanese version titled Jose the Tiger and the Fish, following the Korean version, and the two were so different. It was as if they were just two totally different movies. I definitely enjoyed the Japanese original way more, as it had so much more layers to it. There were elements of humor, drama, romance, and was just a feel-good movie, whereas the Korean version was dark, slow, and really didn't have much action or humor at all. Moreover, the movie runtime comes in at 117 minutes, so right under 2 hours. The Japanese version was also the same, having a duration of 117 minutes. But you know the saying that time is relative? Oh my, do I agree with this when it comes to these two films. The Korean version felt way over 2 hours, as it was a much slower, darker film, and the Japanese version, with its comedic elements and quirks, felt more like an hour and a half. You can tell right from the start when watching that Jose will be a very real movie. If you are a fan of slow burners or indie films, you may like this. However, it was way too slow for my taste. There were good elements to it, such as the acting and the cinematography, but I thought the Japanese original, Jose, the Tiger and the Fish, fit my personal taste a lot better, which doesn't happen commonly. I'll give Jose a ticket price value of $8. And that concludes today's review on Jose. Thank you to everyone that watched till the end, and I hope this review has given you some insight into the film. If you've seen or are planning to watch the movie, I'd love to hear your thoughts about the film, so please leave a comment or join the Ian Talk Telegram group and we can discuss further over there. Please also don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video and would like more video movie reviews. Pledge on the Ian Talk Patreon to really show your support in the work I do. Once again, thank you to everyone that watched till the end, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
괜찮으세요?
밥 먹고 가요, 학생. 내가 해줄 수 있는 건 없고.
그럼 먹어보도록 하겠습니다.
왜 그렇게 먹어? 독이라도 다 났을까 봐.
그게 우리의 첫 만남이었다.
소세지를 계란에 담그고 프라이팬에 올려. 대신 프라이팬 먼저 달구고. 화장실 왔어? 엉덩이 깔고 앉아.
네. 근데 이름이 뭐예요?
조제. 조제라고 불러. 때로는 너랑 가장 먼 곳을 가고 싶었어. 그러면서도 갇혀 있고 싶었어. 너랑